Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hi, this is James Van Brock at September 20th, 2021. And hi, been away for a couple of weeks. And our friend Renee, the producer here, is helping us. He was doing some workshops off-site. So he kept busy. I was teaching some classes. But now we're back, and we're back tonight for the show with Kelly White, Both Sides Now and Beyond. Tonight, we're going to have an incredible friend of mine, Carolyn Momolo, who is an amazing card reader, regular playing cards, not tarot cards. And she'll be doing a reading for Kelly White's birthday today, so we'll do that. Thank you very much, Renee, for Carolyn Momolo. Yes, and she's just great. You guys are going to love her. She's I pushed her into doing these readings because she used to give me readings a long time ago, just regular playing cards, and she was so spot on that I said, we got to get you out to the world. So let's see. Well, welcome everybody. Comments I'll open up for you guys. Welcome. Hi, Kathy, Diane, Robin. Thanks for hanging out with me and staying with me. Hello. It's been an interesting couple of weeks since I've been on here. Thank you. Hello, Elizabeth. How is everybody doing? The world is a very different place than I thought it was going to be. Although, very interesting. Kelly White wrote me the other day, texted me and said to me, this was very interesting. I didn't remember doing this. Last week she wrote me something that I don't have it here. In 1996, when I wrote Talking to Heaven, my first book, she sent me this to the page, chapter 7. It was on suicide. And in that, the second or third paragraph down, I said, well, souls prepare to come back into the incarnation, and they will use many of their lifetime experiences and perfect them before they come back. So let's say a soul comes back, and this is written in 1996. A soul chooses to be back in 2021, where they might bring through some medical breakthroughs and technologies to deal with the surge that's going to affect humankind at that time. Wild, right? So sometimes you just bring things through. You don't know what's going to happen, when they're going to materialize, but obviously that was being channeled. Hello. Yes, I've been busy working with a Journey Within, Janet and Havoc's Church back in New Jersey, doing some class of mediumship. And I'm continuing with my wonderful mediums on my School of Mystical Arts, Mediumship 2 and Mediumship 3. Great students. I mean, great time. Love teaching. It's my passion. So I love that working with the school students. And this week we're going to get together and talk about ethics and responsibility, which is wonderful. Hello, Emma Dobson, Andrea. I don't offer scholarships, but there are payment plans, different types of payment plans to work with you. Hello. Long time. Yes, it's been a long time since I've been on. Diana, you wonder about your loved ones that have passed over, because you're probably picking up them thinking of you. There's another interesting Kelly White story. This morning, it was her birthday today. So this morning I'm outside my garden sitting and texting her happy birthday. And I felt her father come through and mother really quickly. And the father said, I wrote you a song. And so I texted her that your dad wrote you a birthday song. And she wrote me right back, texted me right back. She said, that's just unbelievable. I had a dream last night that my father wrote me a song. My father was a jazz musician. Interesting. Happy birthday, Virgos. So today's going to be a little different moment with you, because the past 2 weeks things have happened. But before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in astrologically, because a lot's going on, as you might know or you might not know. Hello from Germany, Prince. Right now we have 5 planets in what's called retrograde. You've heard that, maybe, retrograde. It doesn't mean that a planet stops moving. It never does, but it stabilizes, slows down a little bit. And because we're all energy, and those planets, of course, are big impact upon us because we're made of mostly water, there's a strong impact and influence on our bodies and our thoughts and choices we make, so forth, things going on. So, every planet, I'd like to say, is kind of a vibration, different vibration. So I'm going to go through that a little bit. So we have in retrograde right now, slowing down, if you will. Good time to stop and assess your life in general. It's a good time for that. Not to start a lot of new projects, but it's a good time to stop and assess. I'm cleaning out my office and my closets, and great time to clean things out and let things go from the past. Okay, so I just want to let you know that. So Saturn retrograde, which is May 23rd, goes to October the 10th. So Saturn is a planet about lessons, responsibility, integrity. If you ever want to know what most of the karmic lessons your soul's come back to learn in this lifetime, look and see what its astrological sign is in the planet so Saturn, because Saturn is the teacher. It's the karmic lessons we're learning. So let's say you have that in the Saturn in Virgo, you'd be learning mostly Virgo lessons, which is about discrimination, about not being like stop being such a perfectionist. Open up your mind of thinking. There are different ways of critical thinking. So Virgo types of lessons. It's very interesting to find out. But generally speaking, Saturn retrograde. Saturn is one of the biggest players in 2021. It is. It's a planet that's responsible for boundaries, structure, habits that keep our daily lives in check. Essentially, it's something to be mindful of when you're focusing on your career as well. Patience is also needed for that. Okay. Now we have a big planet, Jupiter. Jupiter in retrograde, big. So, and that's till the 17th of October. And it's a planet that is typically associated with growth, fortune, changes of luck, if you will, fortune, travel, movement. So this retrograde is the time to really bring things to fruition, really think about your career, what you would like. I wouldn't say jump into it, but plan it out. Okay. Maybe 5 years ahead, just kind of plan it out. The other planet, Neptune, is in retrograde. Now, Neptune is good in retrograde till December the 1st. Okay. And remember, these are big masses of these planets. It affects energetically, it affects us. So Neptune retrograde, it's a reality check of the celestial motion. During this time, you might find yourself wondering, how come I didn't realize this before? Neptune is most definitely keeping things in check as well. And it's also the dreamy planet. It also might activate some psychic or intuition types of sense about yourself. Dreams will be much stronger at this time. Look into those psychic or your sensitivity. Good time to check it out. Check classes and so forth, because it's a good time to start learning about those sorts of things, that other aspect of yourself, the celestial self. Another planet, the love planet Venus, is in retrograde. So retrograde until January 29th, long time. So remember, Venus is about love. So this is probably one of the most intense ones, is Venus in retrograde. And all star signs are likely to feel the effects of the Venus retrograde. The main focus will be relationships, and not just the romantic kind, but business relationships, career relationships, friendships, partnerships. You might realize things about a person you'd never realized before. You might see them in a different light. You might see them with a very different perspective to maybe they need more love, or maybe their back was happening in the background. That's why they're acting out this way. It's also, I have found Venus retrograde is a good time for boundary work for those people in your life that affect you. So I've had to let go of some friends who I thought were friends, but they really, well, I found out what their motivation was. That's a hard thing to do, but that's a really important one to assess your life. That's who's in your life. There's someone supporting you, or are they bringing you down? You got to look at that. Okay. More comments here. Okay. So I don't do psychic reads, but I would say that tonight Carolyn will be doing about psychic stuff and card reading. You might want to get reading with Carolyn. She's great with the cards, about psychic things. Yes. Okay. So Deborah Dishon wants to know about Mercury, planet of communication. Makes me nervous. Mercury in retrograde. Mercury is a planet of communication, like you said. So anytime Mercury is in retrograde, it slows down communication. So in all different forms. So you might have computer problems, printer problems, miscommunication with friends or family. This is an interesting one. Watch this one. When Mercury is in retrograde, look and see as you're driving the streets, or the freeways or highways, how many cars are on the side of the road, because there are certain parts of the engine not speaking to each other as they should be. Miscommunication. So it's all about miscommunication. So be very careful. Never sign a legal document during Mercury retrograde, because it'll go back again. You'll have to get it back again. It slows things down. It slows communication and makes things miscommunicated. But sweetheart, if you're aware of that ahead of time, then you're okay. So you're aware of it, which is good. Okay, a couple of questions, Renee. If you want to grab some, that'd be great. Mercury retrograde is until October 17th. So we talk about this mostly because most people know about Mercury retrograde because it happens most frequently than any other retrograde. And while it's known for wreaking havoc on our love lives and misplacing objects, Mercury retrograde focuses us to approach challenges from a different perspective. How can I communicate better? How can I be more open and understanding of what someone is saying to me? How can I look at this different? Okay. So there's one more. It's a tough time right now. It's a real bumpy road. Mars retrograde. Mars is a planet of battles and confrontations, right? So when it slows down, And it really doesn't go till fall 2021. It goes out. So uh, unfortunately, Mars is retrograde every 2 years and retrograde now. It can slow you down, so take care of yourself and protect your energy so you can function at your very best. And remember, it's all about battles and confrontations. So there might be a sense of impatience. Don't have a knee-jerk reaction. If something happens and someone's attacking you through words or whatever they're doing and miscommunicating, you need to stop, take 3 deep breaths, and then you can approach them. So an example, last week I had a contractor who said he would help me do this deck I'm working on outside. And he told me the bid was fine. And I said, okay, when can you start? And I never heard back from him. And 2 weeks passed or whatever. And I wrote to him. I just felt I had to write to him, explain. He said, I did not get any message from you, delay. And he didn't write back again. And I said, I think that it's time you look at that and just say, you need to communicate. You need to communicate with me. I don't understand why you don't communicate. You need to communicate and tell me, go through the whole project. So that's something you have to, and I wasn't calling upon it, but I wanted to make them aware. Sometimes you have to make people aware of how you're feeling it from it, and what does that mean? What is the root of your communication or miscommunication? Okay, Melissa Caltray. Hello, JVP. I have a question for you. How could you tell the difference between a good spirit and a bad spirit? And the reason is, one night I saw a spirit coming into my house and it scared me. And now at a certain time I have to shut my blinds. And so my question is, what do I do when this happens? Melissa, when I hear this question, it's usually the human being that has the problem in their mind. So it would be, maybe you had a very religious background, believing in the evil and that, or devils, that sort of thing. And that comes up. So there is no such thing. I from my experience of working with spirit for 40 years, I've never known of demons and minions and all that sort of thing. I don't believe in evil. I just don't. I think it's a misnomer. I think there could be a lack of love for sure. I don't think that they screw around with you like you think they do. Now, when you think, just put that in the thought that, oh gosh, something's after me. That can build. So the human brain, the mind can create, gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the problem. So you've got to control the mind. There's nothing harming you, but don't put that out there. Don't become paranoid. You don't need to be. I'm more afraid of the living than of the dead. And I said for a very good reason. I've seen human beings do things to one another, which is unbelievable, incredible. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've witnessed it. And it's amazing what human beings can do to one another. And then if you don't see what they can do without letting you know behind your back, another thing. So I'm more afraid of the humans than I am of the dead, easily. Okay, next question. And get to grounding and meditation, stuff like that, where you place your mind in those higher levels. Sharon, how do I put a stop to random thoughts and dreams that wind up coming true? Suffered all of my life from this. Please help. Sharon, you got to take responsibility for your life. So you can't let someone else do it for you. You got to step in. And now it's a great time to do this assessment and learn to have a relationship with your soul. Right? How does your soul work? I'd say to a lot of my students, take the time and the commitment that you need to go into a space like a closet, I have a walk-in closet, or a bathroom where you won't hear any outside noises, or animals, or partners, or family, and sit for 10, 15 minutes a day. Just using your breath, just being aware of the inhalation, the exhalation. And I guarantee you, after about 3 or 4 days, you're going to start feeling a whole different sense of self. You're going to feel centered. You're going to feel grounded. You're going to feel empowered. And you will get back to who you are. Because we spend so much time, as that question just came through with you, thinking about things. The head can get us in trouble. You got to go to your heart. That's who you are. Your soul is in the heart, just tucked neatly behind the heart. And that's what you want to have a relationship with, not your head. The head can throw you around. You want to ground yourself and be centered. And that's the best advice. So sit in that space, everybody. Sit in that space. Holly, if the afterlife is made up of mental images and thoughts, can I stop right there? So the spirit world is a mental world. This is a physical world. So all our thoughts are seen on the other side. Just saying, yes. Well, mental disorders such as OCD be better. That's of this world, actually. That's the chemistry of the brain. So that's not the chemistry of the brain over there, because that's a physical thing. So the only thing you'd be careful of, sweetheart, Holly, because it is a thought world, all the thoughts you've created in this lifetime, you're going to meet them when you pass over. So all the bad thoughts we've had, the things that irresponsible thoughts, bad things we said to people, not loving ourselves, whatever, that's going to meet us when we pass over. And we're going to meet all those people that we're not nice to, and we have to say hi. So we're our own judge and jury. And that's very true. And that, to me, if every human being would be aware of that, of the energy and power of their thoughts and how they affect everyone, it's a blanketing effect. The world would be a different place if people would just take responsibility. And I never get political on this Facebook or here, but I'm going to today. I'm going to today because a good friend of mine, Bob, 72-year-old man, he passed away with COVID about a week ago. And it really upset me because Bob was very a health nut, strong immune system. His wife and kids got the vaccine, and he didn't. He wanted to wait and see what science is going to offer. And I honor people's opinions, but at this point, I think it's kind of a life and death situation. I think there's a lot of crap out there on social media, and just people get their news, which is not good, right? And I think the science behind it, and I think we're playing Russian roulette. And I think people say, "Well, it's my body, and I have right to my body." Yeah, but it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about humanity as a whole. Um, I remember in college when we took typing. One of the first things they said was, you know, um, uh, now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country. That popped in my head this morning. Now is the time to work for one another. It's for everybody. It's not for you. It's for everyone. So step out of yourself and look at there. There's more chemicals we put in our body through food, the air we're breathing, the drinking, the whatever we do every day, that can be found in there. I think it's unfortunate that the hospitals now are filled. ICUs are filled with people who didn't get a vaccine. I think it would come to a point now that people should not be allowed in hospitals now instead of been vaccinated, because all the people that really need it and take the responsibility to get the vaccine should be the first ones in. Just do. I also think that it's unfortunately our government. I think that Biden, and I like Biden. I mean, I think there's misinformation in that. I don't think that the message is clear. I think like the FDA is one thing, he says another. I think they really need to get their act together and have one message. That's what confuses a lot of people. I think that puts a lot of mistrust in people. So I think that lies in their responsibility for them to bring the one message across. But I'm going to tell you from my point of view, from the spirit point of view as well, it's take responsibility for one another. Now's the time to work for one another. So I hope you will, because I don't want anybody to suffer the way my friend's family did. And it just threw me. I was going to have dinner with some friends, and one of the friends was not vaccinated because she's healthy and so forth. And I said, that doesn't matter. I said, but I'm not putting myself at risk. I won't do it. I don't put my life at jeopardy. For what? Why? We don't have to. So anyway, that's my feelings on that. I wanted to say that today because it's been bothering me for the past week. And I'm really angry with certain, just won't get it done. All right. Patricia Stanko. Okay, Renee, you want to put her up? That'd be great. Thank you. Patricia. Hi, Patricia. I feel mostly at times extremely depressed because I try to be a good person as well as being positive. Well, okay, I wouldn't do this because life is too short. That's right. Life is way too short. Got to live for the day. But at times I wish I was on the other side just to be with my parents, extended family, plus my Richie. I cry a lot. I'm on medication for depression. So, Patricia, I would also recommend doing some working out. Some exercising would be great. Again, I think a life coach might work for you. Meditation would definitely work for you. Some soul searching would be great. Please go to the school, JP School of Mystical Arts. There's I think you're a very sensitive person as well, and I think that you pick up a lot of energy that's not your energy, but you kind of internalize it. And instead of that 28-day transformation course is what you should take. The 28-day transformation course is a really excellent course for you. It's a course that you have to commit yourself every day for 15 minutes. Thanks very much, Renee, to put that up there. You commit yourself for 15 minutes a day, and you really work on I give you exercises and essays and perspectives. We're looking at things, and it really helps you soul search. Go back to your childhood, see the influences there, see where you gave your power away, see what you believed from the childhood, what you didn't, when you gave up who you are and did what everyone else wanted you to do, and getting that sense of I got to do what they want me to do. So I think that course would really help you. And anybody who's really soul searching, please. I've had so many people come up to me and at events and say that saved my life. That course, it's a good one. Please check it out. There's a link, so I think it would help you, sweetheart. But I really want to do some soul searching here. I'm glad you're here in this site. Okay, Ruth. Any suggestions how to guide you to trust in yourself and believe in what you do, especially for intuitive, empathic folks? I hope this makes sense. Just what I said, Ruth. A 28-day transformation, empowering yourself. And it's interesting, but so many people want a quick fix, and you can't get a quick fix. You're first going to change that sense of who you are and have the relationship with your soul first. So check out that course first, okay? And you look at the school, but that would be good one as well. But again, got to give yourselves the time. We need to give ourselves time. We get so caught up in the fanaticism of running around every day and crazy. Now's the time to stop. All these retrogrades, stop, assess, start soul growth. It's a great time to have a relationship with your soul. You don't want to wait till you pass over to the side of, wow, I wasted all those time, that time when I could have gotten back to who I truly am and live a totally different life if I just empowered, believed myself, saw myself from my soul point of view instead of my head. Now's the time to do it. There are no accidents. I believe there's divine intervention. I think that's what this is. And whether you choose to take advantage of this time or not, that's up to everyone here. And what I say is not, take it with a grain of sand. If you resonate with it, fine. If not, that's fine too. But your choice to look at things, yeah? I can't do it for you. I can give you the tools, but you got to use the tools yourself. And that's true of everybody, right? Okay. Ameljas, I think that's how you pronounce it. Forgive me if I destroyed your first name. I'm extremely afraid of death. You should nothing to be afraid of. Death is the opposite. It should be something to look forward to. You do it every night you go to sleep. Are you afraid to go to sleep at night? So it's just a change of consciousness. The only thing about death is how you get there. So it's a disease that is painful to the body, the vessel of the body. That's not fun. But there are medications. There are pain medications to get you out of that pain. Don't need it. Remember, and this goes back to the vaccine thing too. Spirit has often said to me, we work so hard here on this side to create, to inspire, to bring forth to the minds of the scientists ideas, inventions, new ways of doing things that people should take advantage. And that goes with the vaccine. I think that this is going to be a way to even one day maybe look at cancers in a different way, or other kind of autoimmune diseases. There's going to be something from this, I guarantee it. So you should not have a fear of death, but at the same time have a longing to just go home. I feel alone and confused about it. Again, same scenario. You need to start getting back into who you are, how great you are. Don't look at the negative, look at the positive. Make a list about positive things in your life. Again, please go to the 28-day transformation. I'm sorry, it's the same answer, but you need to start having a relationship with your soul, honey. People can't do it for you. You got to take charge now. You've given enough of you. A lot of people here on this site here right now, you're all sensitives, and a lot of us give stuff away, our power away growing up. Now's the time to get it back and to start a new relationship with yourself and to be happy. No reason to be fearful. Life is a series of choices. And the choices are based upon either love or fear. And all there is love. Fear is learned. Fear is a learned thing. And fear is instilled upon us by many media, social media, people around us. And we look to people like leaders for the truth, but sometimes it's not. So this fear of love, I tend to live in love. I often say that it's like a spectrum. Or like a radio spectrum, like station 92.3 is all about fear and anger and upset and entitlement and money and all that. And then there's 106.7, which is love, compassion, peace, kindness, empowerment. I'm going to 106.7. I don't know about you, but I'm going to go there and I'm going to work there and I'm going to get my soul power and learn to be who I am, which remember, please, everybody, you're a soul having a human experience, not the other way around. You're not a human having a soul experience. You're actually a soul that took on this vessel of the human world. And it's a school. It's a hard school, not an easy school. The lessons are difficult, but they're also just lessons. That's all they are. And once you've learned them, you don't have to learn them again. So what's the best way to learn lessons? Opening your mind, opening the expansion of your mind, seeing some of a very different perspective or different point of view, demonstrating love and compassion in every situation you can, even with people. Stop. Don't have a knee-jerk reaction. Stop and look where they're coming from. Maybe their background was a certain way. Maybe they're raised or abused from a childhood or something. Look at them, see where can you bring compassion into their lives. See them as God. Everybody is God. Try to find the God within them. And by doing that, you're teaching them that it's about love. And even at the grocery store, I smile. I say hello to people. Getting gas in my car, I smile. I say hello to people. Even the grumpiest ones, they're the best ones. I like a challenge. I'm going to make a smile out of a frown with this person. And I don't invade their space. I'm very respectful of boundaries. But I also want to send that energy, that loving energy that they forgot. It's just forgetting who we are. So we just got to remember who we are. A soul having a human experience. And a soul's of love. Not a fear. Fear is laying here. Okay. Vincent, hi Vincent. When manifesting, we have to raise our vibration. Correct. There are times that I can't feel the excitement and high vibe, no matter what I do in that manifestation practice. Okay, so listen, because we're in this human vibration here, of course, there's ups and there's downs, situations happen, but we always have that space of who we are as our soul. Every day I try to find, even if things are down, like last week when I lost my friend and the way the status of everything, I look at the flowers and that brings me up. I look at the magic of life, say, wow, the seasons change. There's something much, much bigger than us. That makes me happy. That makes me realize, wow, we're just a speck on a piece of sand on the beach. There's so much more than this. The enormity of that makes me happy. That life, I look all around and see life in all different forms. In California, we have these little, in Southern California, we have these little lizards that run around, and I've just seen baby ones, and I just love it. I love it. The hummingbirds, the sunsets, beautiful, incredible. That I want to be a part of that. That's where I place my thoughts, my mind. So I go to the heart space, not the head space, the heart space. Whatever makes my heart alive is what I put in. So have the people, Vincent, around you who support you. Remember, you need people in your life to enable you, not to disable you. It's very important that you have a good support team, every one of us. And this is a great time with these retrogrades to clean things out, like I'm cleaning out my closet, my office. Clean out your life, clean out those people that are taking and not giving, right? Because life is too short. And you've got to do that. You've got to let people go. Everybody, let people go that aren't supporting you. Life is too short. Okay. Thank you, Vince. Melissa, what's your opinion on the number 111111? Well, I'm not a real numbers person, but my brother saw this number a lot before passing away, and I'm seeing it a lot. So usually 111 is the new changes. It's the new things happening. It's new beginnings. Okay. All right. Let's see. New comments. Okay. Robin Young says, I love everything and everyone too. I love that. I love that about you. Laura Essig, this is a good one. I'm trying to figure out my soul's purpose, as you already know. Do you have anything for me? Yes, Laura. Do it for yourself. There you go. So now, Laura, why don't you take the responsibility to stop, to go inside, whether it's a meditation class, a course, a book to read, and start practicing your soul self. Go inside and find out what your soul's purpose is. Your soul, you know yourself better than I do. So you know. So I would do that. That's what I would do. And I would do it. You've raised the question. Take the time to do it now. Take the responsibility. It's not up to me or anyone else to tell you the truth. You've got to do it yourself. Even if I did know that and I could see certain things, I wouldn't be working fairly and honest with you, because you've got to go on that journey yourself. That's part of the fun. And the interest is finding out more about yourself and taking away those layers. So again, as I said earlier in our call, go into that space, the closet, the bathroom, sit 15 minutes a day, quiet the mind, and start to go down to your soul, the heart, and you'll begin to get insights. You'll begin to get soul insights about who you are, why you do certain things, why you look things a certain way. So it's up to you to do that, sweetheart. So please start doing that, okay? Okay, Holly. Hi, Holly. Addressing your comment about looking for where someone may be coming from. Maybe they were abused. Happens a lot. What if you were trying to teach and provide compassion and love, but you're still interpreted as toxic for that person? Do you let them go or continue trying? I wouldn't continue trying. I would just say it on their level, work with them on their level, but you certainly can't come up like you know better than they do. Just maybe point out things about them that are lovely. Oh, I love your smile. Oh, I love your eyes. Oh, you're such a good choice. And then that's it. And, I learned this year. This was a big year for me, and I think for a lot of people, where that theme came up over and over and over again. You can only lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink. Right? So you can have a beautiful space for somebody, or do some nice things for somebody, and or say nice things, and they're not ready to do it. So you got to see them from where they're at. Don't force change on people. You can't force a flower to grow. It's got to progress. It's got to grow in its own time. You can just plant seeds, and then it'll take them when they're ready. They'll fertilize. It'll take on. Yeah, remember that one. Okay. Paula, James, as I've understood, I'm spirit in. James, sorry. As I have understood, I'm spiritual studies, so that's why it threw me. When we pass, we remain in the same conscious level we were at the physical. Yes. When we reincarnate, we are learning to elevate our conscious. Yes, Paula, that's very, very true. So what happens is when you pass to the other side of life, which is shedding this physical body, which is actually a good thing. It's a joyous occasion. I've never had any negative occasion. I've seen many people. I've helped many people pass over. I used to work in a hospital. I worked at the first AIDS unit in Los Angeles. There in their rooms. I it's a joyous occasion. It's so not what people think. And so that's a mental vibration. So all of your beliefs, things you've learned here in this physical world, and you've learned intellect, the things you've learned, all the experiences you have, that will, if you will, enter into your soul's consciousness, and you can never unlearn something. So yes, so you will have all of that. That builds what I call the soul personality. So you will build from that soul personality each lifetime. Okay. All right. Joseph Gotti, why do you have to come back to this world to learn lessons? You don't have to, Joseph. You don't need to. You have a choice. So before incarnation to this earth, you will sit with your guides and teachers, and this is based on my understanding, that you would go over a divine plan for your soul to progress. So there's always progression. Life is all about changes. Life is not constant. So we are the one constant is change, as they say. That saying goes, and it's very true. Things are constantly moving, cells dying and being born, and so forth. So things are constantly moving and changing. So you're on the other side, let's say, and you want to come back to learn other soul lessons about yourself or about other people, or a soul group where there are other souls who come back in different lifetimes with you in order to grow as a soul. For instance, just as an example, let's say in one lifetime you're in the family of 3 kids, and one of the kids you just decides to commit suicide or dies early. You, as the father or the mother, have to learn about what that's like from the soul point of view of losing a child. What does that feel like? And another lifetime, you might be the one who goes that way. So we learn different sides of the coin. And Shakespeare said it right when Shakespeare said the world is merely a stage, or we're merely players upon that stage. It's very true. There are different scenarios that your soul learns from. And you learn from what they say, the earth level, the earth school, which is one of the lowest evolutionary, by the way, because we're still killing one another. We still don't know what love is, right? What is that about? So we have to come back and learn this in different scenarios, and the diversity, which I think is love, by the way. The hardest lessons that we have in life are the greatest teachers. The people in your life that are the hardest ones to deal with are your greatest teachers. What have you learned? They're a mirror to you. So they're reflecting back what's within you. So what within you is not in balance, what within you is coming to the surface to be healed. Now, you have a free will. You have a free choice to go to any planet, any school you want to, if you want to. You can stay on the other side and learn over there. But the actual building blocks would be in the physical world here. Remember, though, also, Joseph, that there are other worlds and galaxies, and millions of galaxies. This is just one star system. There's so many. This is just a little drop in the bucket. So the time here on this earth is very quick, very fast. Physically, we talk about physically 70, 80, 90 years. We think physical is a long time. It's really like that, a blink of an eye. And I get the sense that when you go to the spirit side and you look back at your life review we all have, say, wow, 70, 80 years, that was nothing. I could do that again. I could accomplish that. I might not be remember it or be aware of it, but I could really do that. So that's what it is. It's a hard place here, but it's also a great growing place. And to change your perspective of that this is not hell, this is not a punishment that we're here. It's just the opposite. It's here to grow and to learn, to appreciate, to be grateful. I mean, right now we're living in this incredible time, but we have a lot to be grateful for. So making a gratitude list, having to change someone's life. You have opportunities every day to change people's mindsets, to change people's points of view, to bring love to people, to teach people. That's a great opportunity. You don't get those opportunities in the spirit realm. You get them here in the physical realm. So you think about it over there and plan things, but to do it, you do it here. I hope that helps. Terry, hi James. What's your take on birthmarks? Oh, you went too fast. Do you find them proof of past lives? And if so, does the location denote how the person passed? Terry, good question, excellent question. And then the answer to me is I believe. I don't know for sure, but I believe, and I've read also about birthmarks, and it would be many times. Someone found that in the past they might have a birthmark on their shoulder, and they find in the past life they stabbed someone in the shoulder. Or yes, I believe that. I believe there's sometimes, not always, but sometimes there's an association with past life. I do believe that. Okay. Elizabeth Rolfe, can you explain why the population of Earth increases with the thought of reincarnation? Wow. Well, again, Elizabeth, this is not the only place to go back to. So there are other planets and other systems. So we've got to think about that, the masses on these other places. So Earth is just one, not so. We also have there are places to go to. So it's not just the Earth that increases. We can go to different spaces and places. So it's not just the Earth that's increasing. Julie, how does one figure out why they came back from near death, and what have you not learned in this lifetime? Well, Julie, I think it's a great one. It's a great time for assessment. So I had near death experience as well. Um, I hopefully you found your experience that there's no death. That's a misnomer. It's ridiculous. It's an illusion. The two biggest illusions we have on this earth are death. There is no death. And the second is separativeness. We think we're separate from another person, another country, speaks a different language. We're not. We're together. We're one. And I often say God is a diversity in that other person. And we'll learn to learn about what God looks like, God, that energy, that force from a different point of view. So we should embrace different ways of being. Now, I'm not talking about mindset. I'm not talking about extremism in any sense. That's different. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just cultures, if you will. And how do you feel when you came back for? Well, again, soul searching. What you going back for? Go deep within yourself to find out what's going on with you. How does your soul express itself? What do you love about yourself? What is it that you want to do in this lifetime? So you got to figure that out. Again, 28-day transformation course, perfect for that. Why am I pushing that? Because that's the answer right there. I know that course was designed for that. One of the things it does. But you got to take the responsibility. If you want to go in the art of discovery, of self-discovery, then you got to do it. No one can do it for you. I wouldn't waste the time. I would go for it. Another way of doing it, of course, I mentioned earlier, with astrology, look and see what signs in Saturn and see what lessons your souls come back to learn. And, it's no simple answer. It'll expand. It'll make you look at things with a different perspective. That's what's it's so vast. But go to the heart, not the head. Don't think about it. Just feel it. What are you here for? What do you love? What do you don't love? Okay, new question. Oh, hi, Reine. Good to see you again, sweetheart. Well, past life regression shows if a spouse was with us in many lives, they were with you in many lives, without a doubt, especially if you have a connection. If they're a spouse, there's a connection there. Or is it more based on just us healing something? No, it's moments, it's experiences of other people in your past life. I know that I've been through 2 marriages, dealt with karmic, different lessons we had to learn from each other or heal a relationship from the past. So that's how we come back and we learn from each other. So yes, past life regression, I think, is very helpful in that there are certain phobias or fears or limited ways of thinking or relationships that we wouldn't understand not unless we were regressed, I think. I've often said that we come back into this incarnation, as the soul comes back into the body, we go through what's called the valley of forgetfulness. And it's almost like the slate is wiped clean and we start with a new beginning. But within the soul is that memory deep down within our soul. So if we do a soul exploration, we'd find out whether that soul exploration is through past life regression or astrology or meditation or intuition or working in those levels. But really, when you come back, if you remembered everything, you wouldn't be able to progress in this lifetime. Because let's say, for instance, I think I have a past life regression. In that regression, I saw myself, my eyes and my mustache were the same. But everything changed. I was wearing a uniform and I was a general. And I was a general in all these different wars. And the only thing that changed was the uniforms. And I was always the general in these different wars, many, many wars. And I was always responsible for telling my men when to go in and kill people. So through all those lifetimes, I must have been responsible for all those millions of deaths. I came back in this lifetime to heal millions about death. Isn't it interesting? And I found that out when I wanted to do a soul searching for why am I a medium? Why would I do this? And why would I do it publicly? Because you would not believe this, but I'm pretty shy. So why would I go on television and go worldwide to teach people about mediumship when I'm shy? That was the reason why, because I had to balance out all those deaths that were my responsibility. I had to come now and heal and balance that karma out. And that to me rings true. It resonates as truth within me. And that's why I come back with a lot of integrity and truth about these things and have to do what's right. My Saturn, it's interesting, Saturn and Capricorn. So it's interesting because Capricorn is responsibility, integrity, and it's in Saturn, planet of spiritual lessons. Okay, good to see you again, honey. Selina, sometimes you feel you need to get away from people every day, and the hustle and bustle of life is not because you're. Is that because you're a higher being? Not necessarily, honey. Well, Selena, it could be that you're very sensitive, and the energy from other people it's just too much. I personally have felt that way when I go outside to a restaurant from being in COVID to for everybody for 2 years. I have a hard time with all the different energies, and I'm not used to it. You're not used to it because we've been indoors or been away. But even now, going back into the population, I hesitate. I love solitude myself, being an empath and a sensitive. I love solitude. I think it's a gift. And then that goes back to what I was saying earlier by the young man that we have to find that expression of life to celebrate life in its simple forms, the great forms of the grass is growing, the trees, the flowers, the insects, the birds. That's where I'm at. I learn more about that. Um, I'm finding with humans, I do a lot of interaction with humans here, right? But I find a lot of humans, and I'm just going to make a generalization here, they're so in their heads, and that, as we've seen here too, a lot of people are based in fear, and fear because media is out there with fear. Right now with COVID, it's fear based because we're not getting a true message. We're not getting the way a simple message the way things should be. They're all these different looking at it in so many different ways, but just as a general rule, a lot of people have lived in fear, but then we add this pandemic on top of that, it increases the fear and then the mistrust and so forth. And that comes to the surface to be looked at. And so I understand that about not being around a lot of humans. Um, but before the pandemic, I found, again, I make it very simple, that life is a series of choices and we choose love or fear. And a lot of people choose fear because in their childhood, maybe around the age of 5, 6, 7, they gave up their innocence. They gave up the sense of self. They gave up the imagination part as kids in that heart space and started using the head, the intellect, because they went through school. They had to obey their parents. They had to obey the teachers. They do those. So we kind of got away from that true sense, the heart self. And we start living this life of the intellect and what people expect of us, what they want us to be. And we start cutting on that hamster wheel, right? For years and years and years, and we're trying to please people or be successful. And successful is having a lot of money and cars and house. It's not success. Success is happiness within, right? So I know billions and billions of billionaires, lots of billionaires, and majority of them are not happy at all because that's a physical, that's a material thing. They don't have to happen here first. So I find that I have the best time when I'm around people of a certain vibration, a certain aspect of looking at life from a loving point of view, not a fearful point of view. And I don't go out much. I've been very fortunate to find some of my life recently who looks at things very much like I do. And it's an honor. It's to be with someone who is open, just open and sees everything in a different way and open to learning from different people and perspective and using creativity. And I love that. I love that. So that's where I like to come from. Not the fear, but the love. And everyone's different. So that's it. So, okay, new question. Thanks, V. Hi, Patty. I love that picture of you, Patty. Love the glasses. Is it possible we can be in 2 dimensions after near death? Because yes, because I feel closer with humans and spirit. Yes, and it can be confusing. Not really. So, Patty, think of it this way. Right here, this body is only 30% of our soul. Right? Soul is usually much more than this. So this is just a sliver. I call it the big toe of the soul. There's so much more of our soul here on these different aspects, different levels in space and places over here, up here around us. And just think about it. Time is only relative to the 3-dimensional world, physical world. So we measure things with time in the physical here in this body and the humanness. But things can be going on in the spiritual levels. I'm just going to generally speaking, spiritual levels, other levels that we're not aware of physically. You could be living in different lifetimes, past, present, future. You could be working in different places, doing all different types of things. And then it drips down slowly to the physical self. So that's a possibility. The most important thing, Patty, that would help you probably is to stay grounded. So learn some good grounding methods. I have a YouTube channel, which you should look at. And I do James Starseed with my beard. And I did a one episode, 15 minutes about grounding and different ways of grounding, simple ways like holding a tree or stamping your feet. There's all different ways. So check that out. Grounding is important, especially with a lot of the empaths and sensitives who feel you're out of it all the time. you need to be here in the physical, be mindful and aware of the other aspects of the places, spaces, and your spirit's soul self. But remember that you're here in the physical to be in the physical. Mavis Attila, a wonderful medium friend of mine, has a great saying, and he said, "You can't be so spiritually aware that you know earthly good." That's very, very true. Okay, good, Patty. Good luck. Okay, next. Okay, another Patty. Hi, Patty. What it means when you lost a dear friend 20 years and also aunt and uncle all within 12 days? I don't know what it means, Patty. Obviously, I don't know what it means, but I don't know, so I don't want to interpret that in a different way. I don't know. It's obviously there's a reason behind it, and there's a reason maybe for you because you have these relationships. There's a sense of connection with these three different people, these souls at the same time. What is it going to do for you? So many times the death will teach us to do something different. Look at things, go inside to our soul journey, to take the inner journey of spirituality. A lot of people have done that after passing. It could be so many different reasons. What gifts did they give you? Remember, no one dies without leaving gifts behind. So we just have to have the courage to open up that gift and find out what's inside of us. And the thing with my friend Bob that passed from COVID, I was so angry because Bob was a Virgo like I am. And I know, and I've heard from him since his passed, but he would have been the first one to say, damn it, just do it and get on with your life. And that's what I think. I think that was a gift. And part of what I was talking about today was a gift from Bob, that the appreciation of life, and that we all need to appreciate it. Okay. Good luck, sweetheart. Okay. Scarlett Gibernell. Hi, James. I've taken the 20-day transformation. Loved it. Great. What is a good next step? So, Scarlett, I can't answer that for you because I know what your experiences were when you were in that course. I know it's a great course. So what you learned in that course, go on the school page and I have a little blurbs for each of the courses and read what resonates as the next step for you. So that's something you have to find out for yourself, because I don't know what the experience was for you personally that you went through. There may be maybe there was a psychic part, intuitive part was activated. So you can look at psychic certification courses. So you got to find out for yourself, but it's easy. I've made it very, very easy to go on that site and read up about those courses. By the way, I'm creating a brand new website, a new school page. So in the middle of doing that, it'll be much easier to interact with, and it's going to be much easier. But that's the best way, sweetheart. Okay. All righty. There we go. One more. Okay. My clock is off. I'm sorry. Oh my God. That makes so much sense. Life is so simple. The human beings get caught up in I call it the complexity of the simplicity. We want things to be so complex, but yet it's so simple. It's love or fear. Remember that, because humans try to, again, that brain, that mind makes things worse and layers and layers. Like, get rid of it. It's love or fear. That's all there is. Okay. Oh my God. That makes so much sense. 30% of the body is the soul. 30% of the body is the soul, right? And again, those numbers might be up, but you get the analogy, the idea behind it. Truth, regrounding, your grounding meditation changed my life. Oh, thank you, Isla. Keep me here, though. I prefer the spirit after NDE. Listen, what do you think? I work with the spirit world because I get that love all the time, and I know there's no death, and I just love that connection with them. I walk with spirit all the time. I mean, I'm never walking when I'm not aware of the spirit side of myself, my soul self. So I often say my soul and I. That's how I live my life. So one more. Okay, one more. Sorry. Thank you, Renee. Nina Smith. James, what does it mean when you enter a space and your body feels like it's vibrating? Well, your soul, that's those levels of your soul that which you talk about 70% out of the body, they're at a very fast frequency. Things move quickly. So your soul is activating, your soul is moving. That's really what that could mean. One of many things. That's usually what it means. You can do that also through meditation. You might find that you start getting quicker and quicker and quicker and faster. Good thing, but grounding would be important. So there you go. Tonight, both sides now at 6:00 Pacific time. And it's going to be an incredible night. Kelly White's birthday. So Carolyn Mumlo is going to do a card spread. She's going to teach us about or talk about how she uses regular playing cards. She doesn't use tarot cards and the signs, the knowingness that comes from those. And she's going to do a reading. You'll see how she reads. And she's great. I've known her over 55 years, I think. Yeah. She was a neighbor of mine growing up in New York. How do you like that? I was almost born in her car. Whole thing. We'll talk about that tonight. So I hope you'll join me tonight, and also check out the school, JP School of Mystical Arts, and look forward to seeing you tonight and next Monday. Okay. God bless everybody, and remember to use love wherever you can.